From the Comprehensive Rules, Core Set 2019, July 13th, 2018. Rule 701.6. Create. Rule 701.6a. To create one or more tokens with certain characteristics, put the specified number of tokens with the specified characteristics onto the battlefield. Previously, an effect that created tokens instructed a player to put those tokens onto the battlefield. Cards that were printed with that text have received errata in the Oracle card reference, so they now create those tokens instead. To put a token into play, or to create a token, means to use any household object, like the backside of a card or dice, to represent the creature or artifact you have just created. There are official tokens to use, but it is okay to use whatever is convenient. For example, the card Spore Swarm says to create 3 1/1 green Saproling creature tokens. So if I cast this card, I will put Spore Swarm into my graveyard and place 3 green Saproling tokens or cards or whatever is convenient onto the battlefield, aka table. These tokens are treated the same way that any other card would be treated, except if a token would leave the battlefield, it may have died for example, it leaves the game instead of going to any other zone. The strategetic implications of being able to create tokens is that they are generally more fragile, but they make up for that with quantity over quality. For example, the creatures that Spore Swarm create are very small, meaning most other creatures will kill them in combat, but you get 3 creatures for 1 card. One downside to creating tokens is that if a token changes zones, it ceases to exist. A token dying, being returned to its owner's hand, being exiled, and being put into its owner's deck are all examples of a token changing zones. Because tokens cease to exist when they change zones, cards like Disperse, which usually only temporarily move a permanent, can now act as permanent kill spells for tokens. Cards like Gravedigger that interact with creatures in your graveyard now become worse because tokens do not stay in your graveyard. On the other hand, cards like Intangible Virtue reward you for playing cards that create tokens by making all of your token creatures bigger, so they are more likely to survive combat.